Hello, it is Foundation Friday, February 15th, 2019. Steve Sipress here with a basic sales strategy tip. You see this everywhere. It's called the downsell. Maybe you don't know what it's officially called, or maybe you call it by another name, but I call it the downsell. That's when someone can't afford or won't make the decision to buy your product or service. Instead of just losing them and letting them walk out the door, you offer them something at a lower price. You see this all the time, whether you recognize it or not. Hopefully you pay attention to my videos and you start to understand you want to get this mindset as a business owner and entrepreneur that you're always looking at the marketing end of things. So when you're on that side of the cash register, when you're on the buying side, you're attuned to these kind of things. So, well, let's say you're buying tickets to an event. They always use the downsell. The front row seats are hundreds of dollars these days. Well, you don't just, say, oh, that's it, I can't afford to go to that game or that concert or that whatever, see ya. They offer, whether it's in person or on a website, they say, well, then we have the 50th row, we have the second deck, the third deck, we have out in the outfield, the bleacher seats, the upper deck, whatever, and $100, $50, $20, they still want to get you in the door, because just getting you in the door, anyone that's been to any event knows, especially a sporting event, it's just the start of the things. You bring a couple of kids to a sporting event, you got the parking, the souvenirs, the hot dogs, the beers, just want to get you in the door. They're going to get another couple of $100 out of you, right? So you want to do the same thing. You want to acquire a customer. Don't let somebody walk out the door. Offer them something. It's called a downsell. So if they don't take your initial selling attempt, you sell something at a lower price to acquire them as a customer. Then when you fulfill beyond their wildest expectations, which I'm sure you do, and you have an excellent product or service, they'll come back again and again and again. They'll refer over and over. They'll stay a long time. Now, wasn't it worth it just getting them in the door for less? You see this in retail all the time. Oh, can I help you? Yeah, I'm looking at this. Oh, wow, this suit is, it's $2,000. Well, of course, we have one that's only $500 over here. Or in a restaurant, oh, the lobster and the whatever is, that's really expensive. Well, you can have the, spaghetti and meatballs for $12.95. Like, oh, I'm going to buy a car. Well, the car salesman, if people still buy a car in person at dealerships these days and go through the selling process, they want to show you the most expensive car, filled, all the bells and whistles on the floor in the showroom. And then, of course, you say no to that, and they say, oh, well, then okay, instead of $100,000 or $80,000, I have this thing for only $20,000 or $30,000. They get you to buy the car. Then you're going to come in for the service. You're going to buy a car again. You might refer people again. They're going to make the sale instead of just let you walk out the door. Makes sense? So you see this all over the time, all over the place. Everyone has bought things this way, from saying no to the initial price, the initial best purchase you could have made, and you didn't just walk out the door because they had something else to offer you. So make sure in your business, if you want to maximize your conversion and your return on investment for any advertising or marketing you want to do, you want to maximize your sales, you want to make the sale. Even if they're not going to buy your highest price thing, think of something you can offer them that's a little lower version of what your main sale is, and acquire the customer. Now, I see we got a question here. Phil is here. Oh, and a whole bunch of people are here. Robert's here, and Mike is here. Joe D is here. Okay. Phil says, do you consider something like a 3-pay? Yes, there's another way to do it. So a 3-pay option for the highest level, or whatever, a downsell. Great question, Phil. Thank you. I forgot to mention that while I was all caught up in whatever I was talking about. That's one way to do a downsell. They say, well, I can't afford that. Well, I just mentioned car sales. That's how cars are sold. Oh, I can't afford $30,000 for the car. No problem. I can get you in that thing for $300 a month. Boom. That's how people sell houses, right? You go, the real estate agent will going to ask you, oh, what's your budget? What can you afford? Well, I can afford a $300,000 house. They're immediately going to show you a $350,000 or a $400,000 house, so that you'll say no to that, but they don't just take you home. They then show you something that's a little bit less, and just like Phil is pointing out, the downsell is, well, of course, I don't expect you to pay $300,000 cash for this house, but I can get you in it for only $1,800 a month, or whatever the price option is. So that's another way to do it, Phil. Excellent point. If they can't afford, or they're not willing to part with, people can afford whatever dollar amount is. God forbid if they're kid was in some vicious auto accident and needed some crazy surgery and they had to come up with it or else the kid would die, they come up with the money. So they can afford whatever you're selling. The question is whether they want to badly enough or not. Hopefully never that badly for anybody on earth. Never needs money that badly. But it does happen. But hopefully for your item, they want it bad enough. You've done a great enough job with the marketing and the advertising, the selling process that they want it. They just still might not pull that trigger for the main amount. So you say, no problem. I'll offer you a payment plan, or I'll offer you the plan B, the light option. Make sense? So you want to have that downsell. Now, here's a caution. There's of course exceptions to everything, and whoever you consult may come up with some more exceptions than me, but I know there's one main exception that I have experienced over the decades and spoken with other marketing and selling and advertising experts and my mentors over the years, and there is an exception to when you do not want to offer a downsell, when you only want to offer the highest price thing you can. And that's, not a point for a foundational tip, but, look it up or ask your advisor, your board of directors, your coach, your consultant. All top performers have them, so ask them. If you want to ask me, go to helpfromsteve.com and I'll help you out. We'll walk you through, because it doesn't apply to everybody, but it might apply to your situation. If it does, I'll give you that caution and I'll help you through it to not make that mistake. And I'll explain to you what doing a downsell in that situation could cost you. And we'll figure it out and I'll help you out. So you go to helpfromsteve.com. Otherwise, almost always, downsell works. You want to gain that customer. It's the iceberg theory I talk about all the time, right? That tip of the iceberg is all you really see, that initial sale. But all the future sales and revenue and profits, that 90% of that iceberg is way down below the surface. Make sure you're smart enough to not just think the iceberg is just that tip of the thing above the water, like most business owners do. Oh, the first sale, that's all there is. No, make that first sale, in all cases except the exception I mentioned, and then look at all the future sales that could come from it. So that'll do it for Foundation Friday. Thanks for the tip, Phil. Anyone else that's watching live on the replay. And that'll do it for Foundation Friday. I'll be back tomorrow on Social Media Saturday. I've got a tip for you that'll help you make money with one of the main social media sites. So I hope you'll be here tomorrow. I will as well, God willing. See you then. Over and out. Bye-bye.